be up on my screen. And in the room, you may have, heard of some of the tools, and maybe some names are new for you. So during the course of the presentation, I would get that understanding that how many of you are neo learners for these tools and how many of you have tried your hands on these. And then we will see how we can, I can help you build on to that. So without, further discussion, let's start with the actual content of the day. First of all, as the presentation title says, what is the tools for, digital testing? So first of all, what is our objective of testing? So I have listed down a couple of objectives on this slide, which is generally the common ones. First is to foster certain skills, to create opportunities for recapitulation and reflection, to motivate students to achieve little more, to assess knowledge, to receive feedback as an educator, to provide feedback, and to ensure learning is happening or has happened. So these are some of the big, questions. Uh, do you think I have missed out anything, any other objective which I have not, put it up on the slide? If you feel so, feel free to put your answers in the chat window. Anything else that is your objective behind testing? So here I have talked about recapitulation, ensuring learning is happening, skill-based assessment, anything that comes to your mind, please feel free to put that in the chat window. I am taking a minute pause to read your opinions. If you have anything else that comes to your mind regarding objective behind testing students. So I am just keeping my eyes on the chat window to see if I am getting some answers. I'm waiting for people to put if you have a few more objectives of testing other than what we were shown, know the learners. Good, Dheeraj sir. I appreciate that. Generally in traditional schools like us, somehow it marks and creating report card. You actually hit the nail. That has become the aim. So I think Anuradha has, brought that point, what I was trying to say. However, that is merely one of the objective, and national education policy, put emphasis or a lot on the other objectives, which were on my previous slide, but we cannot undermine this objective also. So this is definitely one of the objective, to have marks to decide promotion to the next level. But I would say that the other objectives are much more of intense importance than this one, but we cannot undermine this one also. So moving on, my question to you is, have you already started testing your students? If yes, which tools you have tried to, which tools you are using to test them? So again, I request you to put your answers in the chat window. If you haven't tried, no problem. If you have tried, then what are the tools that you are using to test them? Okay, so I'm getting some answers like Google Forms, exam.net, Google Forms. Okay. Kahoot, yes. Socrative app, okay. That's good. Quizzes is another app. So good that, many of us have tried testing at some level. Now, I have got a little understanding that majorly it's about forms and apps that you are using for testing. Quizlet, yes, agreed. That's a great tool. Google Forms is again a commonly used tool. So definitely I will be showing you one glimpse of the way to use form in a more powerful manner for testing. And we will be touching on some other tools which we will be using for testing definitely. So let's move on with the presentation. Now, there are these two terms which are commonly used, tests and assessments. So they look very similar, but there is a thin line difference. So a test is used to examine someone's knowledge of something to determine what that person know or has learned. So it measures the level or skill of knowledge that has been reached. For example, a test can be very quick. For example, a teacher can say that today I'm going to test what you learned in the previous class. So there is a surprise test for you, right? So a test is something where you may not like to record the outcome, but you would like to measure it quickly and take that feedback to move on and decide what is the level of your learner, how much they understood. So basically test is not, to put it in the record. Assessment is, on the other way, is a systematic approach of documenting and using empirical data on the knowledge, skill, attitudes and belief. By taking the assessment, the teacher try to improve student learning. Why? Because I would not say that test ki help se we cannot improve student learning. We can do that also. But as I said, the two terms are slightly different. When we conduct an assessment, we actually follow a set procedure and we record the outcome so that we can take diagnostic measures to take the learning of our learners one level up next time, and we try and analyze those areas. Just to give you an example, for example, if you have done test 10 exams with Google.forms and there you are giving multiple choice questions to your learners, so a child maybe is doing very well, and one day you decided to take a theory paper maybe on exam.net, a summative exam, and that child has not really done very well. So you may have this kind of, reflection that he knows the concept. So when I tried to ask in between some multiple, he knew the name of the concept and he did the formative assessment very well, where he had to just select that which concept it is. But when it comes to express his ideas in 200 words, maybe he's lacked that expertise, so I have to train him in that area. So that kind of critical feedback you got when you did formative summative assessment after a series of formative assessment, or vice versa. Maybe some child will be very good in writing long answers, but when he has to hit the nail or read in between the line and give multiple choice, attempt multiple choice questions where the answers look very similar, he is not able to make out which one is exactly correct. So these kind of diagnostic reports are produced for a teacher with the help of assessments. So that's the thin line difference between that. So I would say that a test is a product that measures a particular behavior or a set of objects. Assessment is seen as a procedure instead of a product. And then now, as we have understood that these two terms are synonym in a sense, but there is a ideological difference between the two. But today what are we going to do? We are going to learn both the tools for both. So if you want to take an instant test, but you are least bothered about recording your findings, you just want to have that quick feedback and move on, then what is the tool? If you want to record the maintain child's report in a proper authentic report manner, then what are the tools? So we are going to basically discuss tools for digital tools for testing. And now moving on, my next screen showed what are the type of assessments that can be done. So these are some of the common names: formative assessment, summative assessment, video-based assessment, skill-based assessments, open-ended assessments. Then it can be listening skills, speaking skills, diagnostic assessments. Before I move on, I just want to tell you this, that we people have this, common misunderstanding that listening and speaking skill assessments are based on just for language, languages, Hindi and English, where generally a teacher plays a video for a specific duration and then provide a worksheet to the children that now you answer the questions based on that, audio that was played. And we say that this is listening skill because how well the child was listening. Why can't we use it in our online teaching to ensure that the learners on the other side of camera have not just logged in and roaming around and are paying attention by conducting listening skill assessment in our own subjects. For example, I tell children, today I do not have any PPT. I haven't prepared any slide for you. I am sitting here with my camera on and I am speaking and I will continue to speak for 20 minutes. It's your listening skill assessment. You listen to me, you take your running notes, and at the end of it, I will give you a questionnaire. Do you think that approach can work in your subjects also, even if you are not a language teacher? अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि आप भी उसको अपनी क्लास में यूज कर सकते हैं, then give me a yes. Or you think that you're free to have your opinion. You may feel that नहीं, हमारे सब्जेक्ट में लिसनिंग स्किल किसी काम का नहीं है. मैथ्स टीचर वैसे मैं क्या पढ़ाऊंगा बिना व्हाइट बोर्ड के या बिना इक्वेशन लिखे बोल के मैं क्या पढ़ा सकता हूँ. So you may have your own perspective, but if you feel that you are not a language teacher but still you can use this kind of technique in your class, then say yes. Otherwise you say that no, it will not work for me. So I see the answers that teachers say that yes, it can be used in mathematics also. It can be used in history and geography. That's so good to understand. So at times, we people are so hard pressed with times. We teachers are spending hours and hours of, for doing planning for our next day's class. But at times we feel it's very disheartening that from the other side of the mic, there are people, we are not getting any answers only. We keep shouting, children, did you hear this? What I said last? Are you able to listen to me? Am I audible? So we keep saying all these things. Okay, before I move on, I see a hand raised from Sangeeta ma'am. Sangeeta ma'am, if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Sangeeta ma'am, do you have any question at this point? I see a hand raise. आपका हाथ उठा है. आप कुछ पूछना चाहेंगे? Okay, if not, then we will have a Q&A session towards the end. So you can, if you want, you can post your question in the chat window also. So as I said that at times we are so hard pressed with time that we do not have really time to make next day's presentation. So this can be quick way of assessing their learning, whether they are listening to us or not. As far as speaking skill assessment is concerned, I have now tried using it as a great tool. So if you have heard of a tool called Flipgrid, that really help us to assess. So when I say that video-based assessment, there are two ways to look at it. One way is the teacher provides a video to the child and say you watch and answer the question. Another way is you tell the children that you record a video and send me what you have understood in this class. So this particular technique of asking child to make a video and give you feedback is important to have in terms of speaking skills also. You are not only giving him an opportunity to speak about your subject content, you are helping him raise his self-confidence. You are helping him improve his ability to express him. In our school, we tried various tools for testing, then we realized these children are very smart. Any tool which we will come up with, they will find an hack for, cheating. You will be surprised. I am not going to show you now how to do it. At the end of the session, you try to search an AI bot to answer quizzes prepared in Google Form. So there is an extension. If you have that extension, my kids showed me if teacher has prepared an auto-graded form, Google form, where the answers are pre-fed by the teachers and the form get automatically evaluated, there is an AI enabled bot which can give all the answers on behalf of the child and the child may get 100% marks. So these kids are very smart. They will find ways and means to cheat. So we have to be equally smarter than them. So we have to prepare assessments where they can actually, we cannot say that, I cannot, say that मेरे स्कूल में चीटिंग नहीं होती है या मेरी क्लास में कोई बच्चा चीटिंग नहीं करता है, even if I'm making them sit with cameras on, hands on desk and asking them to, you know, do the test, then also they may have a phone kept on their laptop, may send type the way I will not understand, get the answer from somewhere, or they may have a family member providing book below the table. And all those things can happen. I cannot stop. But what I can stop is I can minimize these chances of cheating by making creative assessment, by making the kind of assessments which can actually check the knowledge of the child. So when I'm saying using Flipgrid, so what we can do is we can ask children that it was a 20-minute, half an hour class. I have now taught for 25 minutes. I am giving you a Flipgrid link. Each one of you have to upload your 3-minute video. What have you learned in today's class? And then I am going to see who has understood what. So things like that, like in our case, we have set up a system of Viva. So we tell children that we are going to close weekly test. We will not take weekly test. There will be written unit test monthly, but the weekly test, we are going to take it in the form of Vivas. So those Vivas, if a child has, you know, if a teacher has many more students, she cannot conduct Viva in a particular lesson. What she does is she creates a Flipgrid and then she prepares an Excel. So in the Excel, then there are questions to be asked to each child related to the topic. She puts up that Excel right after her class and she says that I have given a question to each child. You just have 5 minutes to think of your answer and 3 minutes to record. We make them hard pressed with time so that they cannot call each other and discuss the answer. Now you record your answer and upload it on the grid, and this particular Viva has 5-mark component or a 10-mark component in your midterm report. So we have started this kind of video-based skill assessment, you know, that is helping us to avoid cheating at some level. Wherever the number of children is less, for example, in Cambridge, we have less number of children as compared to CBSE and ICSE classes. There we have just 10-15 students in a batch. So those teachers are randomly asking the child to turn on the camera and answer, and they're taking Viva of what they have taught in the previous 3 classes or in a particular topic, and those questions of Viva are not disclosed to the child before. So the child has no choice of, you know, cheating. He has to or she has to go through the content very properly to take these kind of assessments. So having said that, I don't want to make it a just talk session. I want to show you certain tools that you can use. Now, today we'll be seeing tools for both digital testing and tools for assessment. To start with, I just want to, you all mentioned that you have used forms. So I'm going to give you the link of this form in the chat window. And I want you to try this form and tell me what is that you feel, what did you observe, or do you practice these kind of forms in your class? So this is, again, you all mentioned Google Forms. However, it's a Microsoft form, moreover one and the same thing. But you please try this form and give me a little feedback that in what sense you find this form different than a conventional form. Any one thing which you feel that is different in this form. So I'm taking a 2-minute pause here and waiting for you all to complete the form.
Excuse me, ma'am, is that posted?
Yeah, it's the link is in the chat window.
But I am unable to see, ma'am. Varun sir, can you help me with this?
Ma'am, are you having access to the chat window?
No, sir, I am not having that access.
Excuse me, I think you have selected all attendees as no longer participants. It's written like that.
I'm sorry?
Yes, sir, I am not a participant. I am just attending.
We are not able to type anything. Even the messages also not able to see.
So no worries, ma'am. It's just one solution to it is, do some of you have access to the form?
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, those of you have just fill it, take 2 minutes time to fill it. And those who don't have, no worries. I will show it from my screen and try to emphasize the point what I'm trying to make here with the help of this form.
I just wanted to say something. I'm Sakshi this side.
Yes, please.
Like the difference between this form and the normal Google form is that this is something where you have given the options to select, which can be auto-graded. And when we have the subjective part, when we give one correct answer and the child chooses something else, or he writes something else, then that creates a confusion. It gives a 0 to that.
Ma'am, have you submitted this form?
No, ma'am, I'm doing that actually.
Ma'am, you submit the form and then give me the, I think you will get your answer yourself, what you have asked in the second part.
Can I ask one question here? Because I use Google Forms quite a bit in my school. So for the subjects that I teach, and I always had this. This one thing I saw about this form is that I don't know how to do. Is you said that your score will be updated once question number 2 is reviewed.
Yes.
Yes.
So that is one thing that I would like to learn, because that's that is something.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. So I am going to highlight that part of later review by teacher and then updating of score. That's why I purposely created a form like this. Anuradha ma'am, could you hear me?
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but actually, may I request you, like those who cannot access the form, can it be shared in the WhatsApp group by sir, like
Yes,
who
ma'am, I have.
organizes?
I have shared it in the WhatsApp group, ma'am.
Thank
I
you.
request you to please check it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so having said that, let me show the form from my screen also. So I will show you the form. The idea is not here to test your knowledge about input-output devices. It is about to show you this is another kind of assessment that we can create. So this is basically, in my school, we have a limited screen time beyond which we cannot conduct classes. So I'm sure these kind of challenges are everywhere. Some norms are set up by government that you can't take classes of more than 3 hours, 4 hours. So in that case, syllabus covering is also a challenge. For example, for computers and ICT, we people are given just one period a week. So we feel that the child, we are not able to, because in one period, if you are meeting your child in an online class, you can't just start teaching because they are in grade 4, 5, 6. You first ask, how are you? How are things going on? And in a 35 minutes lesson, you've already lost 5-8 minutes to settle and invite everyone. So what we do, we give them basic concept. And then we tell them that, beta, you have to do more on this concept. Now, responsibility lies on you also. So what I gave you the basic fundamental of what is input and what is output device. I am giving you one assessment that has to be done during the weekend. And your responsibility is to watch the video of my part 2 class and complete it yourself. Now here I am making them accountable for learning. So what they will do, the instruction is watch this video and answer the question that follows. So what I did, I made a video related to the topic, uploaded it on OneDrive. You can upload it on Google Drive. So I have now in this video, those of you, you can watch it at your own pace. So I have talked about the basic fundamentals of input output devices. And then I have given them this particular assessment. Now the kind of questions that I have formed. So I have written find the odd one out. Now they may ask an adult also that what could be the answer. So for example, they got to know, or they may, get the answer from anyone. I want them to give the reason also, give reason for selection of your answer one. So it's not that, so I'm just thinking one step more. What if बच्चे को कहीं से आंसर पता चल गया, मुझे कैसे पता चलेगा कि उसको समझ में आया है कि नहीं, why he selected printer. So I have given him this opportunity. Now when he will give the answer, I know my kid, so I know that whether this reason is being given by him or an adult has helped him to write the reason. Now, what is not a correct way of giving input? So I have given these, answers, and then my questions are based on my video. and I've ensured that the child will not get answer to these questions by Googling on the internet. So this is another way of creating assessment. Now somebody was asking how this, now when I made this particular form, so I'm showing you settings over here. So in the settings, first I selected anyone with the link and respond. So if you have Office 365 IDs, for your school. So this is something which again I want to tell you, there is something called Microsoft Office 365 IDs, which are free for all schools. So you just towards the end of the session, if any school want to get that for their children, I can tell you the point of contact. So you can tell them, they will deploy the free Office 365 IDs for you and your staff and students. So once you get those free IDs, then you have access to some of the online educational app by Microsoft for free. Forms is one of those. So if you have that system that, for example, all your students have Office 365 IDs, then you can say that people in my organization can respond and record name, and only one response per person. These settings can be done. So like in our school, we are doing a lot of testing using forms. So we use this setting. So when the child click on the form, he has to enter the Office 365 ID provided by the school to take that form. So we ensure that he is our student, and then their record is responded, and they cannot attempt this form more than once because we have this option, one response per person. Now the form, we can, like Google form, we can set the start and end date of the form. We can, when this form will start accepting responses, when it should end, whether we want the questions to be shuffled for each child or not. So we can tick on shuffle questions if we want that order of questions should be different. Now there is this message, customized thank you message. So what I wrote here, your response has been submitted. If you see in this particular form, this question was multiple choice. So I set the answer while setting up the form. This one, I want to check the answer myself. So I haven't given any standard answer for this. So if you see my designing part, I have, done this as correct answer. Then I move to the second question. I haven't given any correct answer. So I haven't given any correct answer. I have ticked up long answer because I want to evaluate it myself. Then question number 3, there is a right answer which is already given by me. I have set this as correct answer. And then question number 4, which device? So here I have typed the answer. Now beauty here with Microsoft Forms is it does case sensitive checking. So unlike, Google Forms, you don't have to write answer in capital and in small and in title case. We can just write in one case and then it automatically does case sensitive checking. So this is what when I create. So I knew that second question ka answer mere ko check karna hai. So I've written in my message, your response has been submitted. So question 2 will be reviewed by the teacher and then its marks will be updated. So this I have put him in the customized thank you message so that my child is not panicking कि मुझे इस question में answer ही नहीं मिला. Now coming to review part of it, how to review the answer. So when I go to response, अभी आप में से किसी ने response नहीं किया है, I think, can any one person respond so that I can show you how to give review the answer script? If any one person can submit it. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I had to refresh. So 20 people have submitted. So these are the responses. Now see, if I go to responses here, so I will show you there is this something called review answers. So I have to click here on review answer. So when I go to review answer, so this is auto graded. First, the questions which are auto graded, I may need not to review, right? So now this one, this particular question where the child has written microphone. So because you have thought that others are related to point, but here the correct answer was that these 3 were input device and printer was output device, right? So this is, if I want to give feedback, I can write my feedback here. So I would say no, the idea here was that the rest three are, I can give my feedback, are input devices and printer is an output device. However, if unlike a conventional teacher, I want to say that I want to appreciate this point of thinking of child also. So, right, so I can say that Beta means I have understood that this is also a correct thing. So after reading the child's opinion, I may like to award mark for both the question. अब find the output में correct answer microphone printer था, but बच्चे ने microphone लिखा है, but I still want to give him marks and appreciate कि उसने ऐसा सोचा कि बाकी paper based हो सकता है और microphone voice input है, इसलिए ये odd one out है. तो मैंने इन दोनों question में बच्चे को marks दिया और साथ में अपना feedback bhi diya. No, rest 3 are input device and printer is correct answer, but I appreciate your point of view also, right? So now whosoever is this child, when I post his score, he will get a feedback what teacher has written for him. For example, this script is of respondent 0, so its name is not reflected. So same way I can review each and every answer. So here also, which device you would use to get sound as output? The correct answer was speaker, but the person has written speaker and headset. I want to give away a mark, so I would say 2. Now I have reviewed this answer. Then I can move on to my second copy, respondent 1. Same way I can review for printer gives hard copy. So this is correct. I can do 2. Once I have reviewed all the answers, I can actually post the scores. So here I have options, post scores. So I can say posting score will give respondent access to quiz result and feedback. They will be able to see their scores by opening the original quiz link. So I say post. When I've posted, I've just reviewed 2 copies. This way we can review each and every child's copy. Now the benefit of this review is हम जितने भी लोग गूगल फॉर्म्स अपने स्कूल में यूज कर रहे हैं उसमें प्रॉब्लम यही आता है कि बच्चे स्मॉल में टाइप करते हैं, आपका आंसर कैपिटल में होता है, बच्चे को गलत मिल जाता है, बच्चा एक एक्स्ट्रा स्पेस दे देता है बट उसका आंसर करेक्ट होता है, फिर भी सॉफ्टवेयर उसको 0 दे देता है. सो दीज आर चैलेंजेस विच एट टाइम कैन डीमोटिवेट लर्नर कि मेरे इतने कम मार्क्स क्यों आ रहे हैं. However, when the teacher reviews, there is no learning gap. There is technical problem. While software is matching the answer with the correct answer in the answer key, then due to certain parameters like an extra space, like typing in capital case or giving more than one answer, the software is giving it wrong. So these all kind of problems will be resolved. So now when we create forms in Google, however, now I'm not going to take an exclusive training session on Google Forms here, but I am going to give you some ideas and tricks, because this is, if you are doing Google Forms, this will be very simple for you to do it and try it. But I am trying to tell you certain things which you should remember while creating a form. So when you were creating the forms, आप जब एक form बनाते हैं, तो there are certain settings which we can, remember. There is a setting post scores immediately to the, so there is this option, post scores. You can actually turn that off. It says show results automatically. So I can turn it off. So when I say turn it off, so normal, if you are conducting a unit test and you don't want to create any discrepancy in the result till you have reviewed it yourself and confirmed and you want to post the scores later on, so you can turn this option off, show results automatically, and have this customized message that your response have been submitted. Your score will be updated to you once your teacher has reviewed your form. So we can give a user-friendly customized thank you message, and that will ensure that there is no chaos and the children are not restless that whether our all answers are being wrong. However, we answered them correct, but software is showing them wrong. So this is another way of handling assessment through forms. I just want to take a pause here and see if anyone still has any query on related to this. Otherwise, I will move on to my next tool.
Yeah, actually, I was asking the question before and I got disconnected.
Yes,
But this can be done for Google Forms also, that I have manual review, but half my form gets auto corrected and only my subjective questions I have manual review and then release the score.
Yeah, that is also possible.
Okay.
When you
Ma'am,
don't
how is
put
that
customer,
possible for the immediate? I'm sorry to disturb, but for the immediate result, that is not possible. That subjective and objective.
No,
Objective
for manual
can be,
review.
no, ma'am, what
for
I'm trying to
manual
say
yes,
that
yes,
in
yes.
Google Form also or in Microsoft Form also, if you will not set it up as a customized message, for example, those of you who submitted my form, until unless you did not read my customized thank you message, the subjective answer was, marked 0 for you. When you read my message, you will
Yes.
rest assured that teacher will evaluate it and update my score. That has to be done both ways, because for subjective, we can't feed the answer in the marking scheme. And definitely the child will be under tension that the software has given 0. But giving messages like this will help resolve the tension to a great extent.
Yes, the same way we are doing in our school. We are using the MS forms only.
Sure. Dheeraj sir, do you have a question related to forms?
Yes, ma'am. This is Dheeraj here. Actually,
So
I was
sorry.
yeah, I was asking you, as you said in the starting, that Google Forms, or when we have this, there is a plagiarism. You can stop plagiarism because
Yes.
you have some AI over there, and the children can see the auto-corrected answers and all. So
Yeah.
this form basically which we are talking about, here the children are also have. I mean, it is the same case with it, or here we don't have this.
No, ma'am,
Yeah.
plagiarism checker is always there. In fact, when you create the form, so I'll just give you one simple trick to show you the power of AI in Microsoft Forms also. So just have a look at it. Say, for example, I am creating, let's say, a new form. And when I am adding a question here, so suppose I want to have it, let me write it as a text first. And when I click here and I select something called mathematics. So for example, if write the equation for, just 1 minute, I think I've taken the wrong question style. Let me go back and select one more form. So I am not a maths teacher, but I'm just trying to show you something. So if I select here math, let's say, now I've selected here maths, and here is I'm saying enter an equation. So for example, if I want to write some equation or something, it has some auto suggestions also for me. For example, if I write here A2 plus B2, something like that. Now see, this maths this operation has been opened. Similarly, this is again has opened. So that's what I'm just trying to give you glimpse that it also has, based on your selection of the things, this also provide you if you insert media. So these are all copyright free images and videos which you can use. So when you click on image, it will show you that if you want to search copyright free images, so you have to tick here. For example, if I write here, copyright free images only related to a topic, right? Copyright free images tree. So I can, search.
Excuse
It
me,
says
ma'am.
search results show images tagged with Creative Commons license.
Excuse me, ma'am. Are you sharing? We can't see, ma'am. We can't see the screen.
You can't see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, let me share it again, ma'am. Can you see it now, ma'am?
Yes,
So
ma'am. Yes,
just
ma'am.
to answer the last question, yes, power of AI and plagiarism checks, these features are also available in Microsoft Forms. Now moving ahead, the next tool that I want to touch upon today is exam.net. When I started the session, I asked in the window. So I think one person has already tested. If there are more people, can you just type in the chat window if you're using exam.net? Because then I will, if you haven't tried, then I will start with very basic. And if you have already tested this tool, then I will touch the key aspects of it. So how many people in the room have already touched upon? So majorly it's a no. Okay, I got this. So it's a new tool, then I'm happy to take it forward. So exam.net is a tool which can be used for both summative and formative assessment. I'm going to open now the window for exam.net. Go to any browser and type exam.net. Exam.net is a free, I would not say free platform. It is paid, but for COVID, they are giving it free till December 2020 to everyone. And most likely the offer will be extended. So that's what I know as a IT head of my school when I wrote it to them. And it's very clearly mentioned on their website that this is outside Sweden is free of charge during 2020, right? So it's absolutely free of charge till December 31st for sure. After that, they may charge some nominal charges, but we have good 3 months if you want to test your children using this portal. So you can log into this portal. So come to the teacher section. So there is something called, I will just sign out and show you from the beginning how it happens. So this is the portal exam.net. If a student comes here, he just needs the exam key given by his teacher to start the exam. If you are a teacher, come on to the teacher side. Now, after coming on to the teacher side, I'm just trying to see. I hope you can see this screen, right? So once you come to the teacher side and you are new to this portal, you have to first sign up. You have different options to sign up. Sign up with Google, sign up with Microsoft, and sign up with Scholar Federation. Then suppose I'm going to sign up with Google because that's a common ID. Now, I have used both my Google account for, this during the training. So when I will log in, it will directly log in it to me. But once you log in with your account, suppose I am logging in with my organizational account, so it did not ask me anything. So it is like showing me my details. But if you are logging in for the first time, when you are logging in for the first time, and if you are using organizational ID, what are organizational IDs? So see my screen again. So if your organization has given you some ID, for example, for me, these are 2 Google accounts. So this is individual, this is organizational, because @sanskarvalley.org is here. So my school has given me these organizational IDs. So I can go to this portal either using organizational ID or using my personal ID. When any one teacher of the school is going for the first time, for example, if I would have gone using my personal, which I did in my last training to show teachers, so it will ask that, what is the name of your school? So you have to create the profile of your school. It will ask you, are you the first teacher from this school on this portal? You say yes. And then it will give you an email link to authenticate. So I can show you that what kind of link will come because it came on my ID in the last training. You click on that. So I'm just opening my mail and showing you when I did it with personal mail. So it will send you a mail to authenticate your account. So if I go to this exam.net, I will just search here. So when I did using personal, they will send you a mail to verify your account, right? So verify registration mail will come. You have to verify clicking on this, and then you are good to use it. And if you have organization account, this is much more easier, because if any one teacher of the organization will set up the organization on this portal, means enter the school detail, others need not to do it. When the others will join, it will simply show you who all are your colleagues who are already on this portal. So these are the 2 ways to sign in into this account, either using organizational ID or using your personal ID. More so easy with organizational ID, because one teacher of the school will set up and fill school details. Others will just select the school name from drop down box and they will be a part of this. Now, since I have come from my personal account, it says please validate your school or organization listing. So I have to click here. I have to fill a form which will go to my school ID, and there I have to give, for example, if I've come here using my personal account. So when I start to use, it will say that you have to organize, update your school details. So what kind of school it is, I selected. I will give its details, that what kind of students we are teaching. So then we select all this. And then it says you are a public or a private school. So we select all this information. And the last one is you have to select the name. It says, yes, this is my workplace. Now I have done that. So once I do that, I verified my school also, I am good to use this particular portal through my personal account also. Now I'm going to show you how to make papers on this, and I'm going to go through my school account. I'm going to sign in with my school account. Why I did so? Because I want to show you when you do with your school account, you can see your colleagues. So these are the people, those who are from my school already on this portal. Now, what is the benefit of seeing your colleague? When you set up a paper, you can actually invite somebody to collaborate on that paper. And that's the advantage of having your colleagues. So it says invite colleagues. So I can invite a colleague on a paper. I'll show you how in the process. So once you are here, first of all, don't just directly jump on creating new exam. The first thing is, once you are on your home page, so I'm on my home page of exam.net. I'm logged in as my school account, as I said. सबसे पहले आप directly नीचे चले जाइए. There is an option called create new group. So I'm repeating. आपने sign in process clear आपने पर्सनल आईडी से किया या आपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अकाउंट से किया. एक बार आपका स्कूल इस पोर्टल पर रजिस्टर हो गया, सबसे पहले आपको एग्जाम क्रिएट नहीं करना है. यू शुड क्रिएट न्यू ग्रुप. व्हाई आई एम एम्फेसिस ऑन दिस, हम डायरेक्टली एग्जाम भी बना सकते थे, लेकिन न्यू ग्रुप बनाने का मतलब न्यू क्लास बनाना है. अगर आप पहले अपनी क्लासेस बना लें और उसके अंदर अपने एग्जाम बनाएं तो आपके एग्जाम्स की फोल्डरिंग हो जाएगी. मींस दे विल बी फोल्डर्ड एंड सॉर्टेड. If you see, this is class 12th computer science, class 11th computer science, class 10th. So I have created my classes here. So my exams are sorted and I know कि मैंने किस class के साथ कितने test कर लिए हैं, because I know my classes. So the first step here is create new group. So for example, I am creating this group for training. So I'm writing training teacher. We are doing a training session for teachers. So I've given the new group as training at teacher, right? So then I can click on create the group. Before I do that, I can select a color of my choice. So let's say I want to differentiate this group with orange color or green color. So let me select the color and then I say create the group. The colors easily help us to identify. The newly created group will go to the top. So this group has come to the top, training at teacher. The option to create group was at the bottom of the screen. Here, once you have created the group, the newly created group will come on top. So this group has come up on top. Now the next option is to create exam. So click on new exam and then you can go ahead with the creation of the exam. Now here we have different kind of exams. First is use a PDF. Up this is the easiest option. हम लोग पिछले साल तक भी वर्ड पे हम सब लोग पेपर्स बनाते थे, कुछ लोग वर्ड फाइल में बनाते थे. सो जो भी लोग सॉफ्ट कॉपी में पेपर्स पिछले साल तक सबमिट कर रहे थे, उनके लिए दिस इज द बेस्ट ऑप्शन कि आपके पास आपके पुराने पेपर्स हैं. You just make a PDF of those papers and upload it over here. So if I say use a PDF file, so I can go to my system and figure out one question paper. So let's say I have this question paper and I can upload any question paper from here. So I can so my paper is not in PDF, that's why it's not showing. Whatever papers, so if I'm selecting any other PDF for that matter, so I have opened a PDF, so it will now come up. It says this may take up some time depending on how many pages your PDF has. So this is coming up. So if you have your last year's papers and you want to reuse them, so this is my paper, a sample board paper, which was there on my system and I want to use it. Then I have uploaded this and I can say close. So PDF is uploaded. This is the easiest way of using your old papers and uploading them as PDF here. Now, other things in this setting is student information. What all information you want your child to fill in when he's coming to this portal to take the exam. Please do not take phone numbers, especially. We should not disclose so much information of our children to a third-party software. Avoid taking phone numbers. You can take email ID if you want to return their answer scripts on their emails. If you have Google Classroom, You can upload the answer scripts there. If you are using Microsoft Teams, you can upload the checked answer scripts in class notebook. Then also don't take email IDs. But if you take classes on Zoom, or if you take classes on a platform which doesn't allow you to do classroom management, and you have no other way of returning the answer script other than email, then take email also. Right, so you know for what class you are setting up the paper. If you want them to differentiate between sections, 10th A script, 10th B, then take class. But don't take phone number for sure. That's just an advice. Then anonymized exam is another good way that, when students' identities will be replaced by unique codes. So it will give you some set of unique codes. You can assign it to the students, and then you know whose answers script is by. You match that with the code. But this is a tedious job. If you have 60-70 students, it's a pain to anonymize exam and then replace each child with a unique code. So this is generally a very good option, but if you have that much time and energy, you can go in for this also. Otherwise, students can give their first name, last name, email, and class. When the child will do the exam, do you want to give him writing area? Yes, the student is given a writing area. Now, at times, I may come to this portal. I'm an English teacher just for essay writing, and I want children not to write an essay of more than 1,000 words or 2,500 words. For that kind of situations, we can limit the number of words here. So I can write that the answer area should not exceed more than 2,500 words. But I would not recommend it if you are making an open-ended paper where you do not have, अब suppose आप कोई भी एग्जाम कराते हैं, आपकी क्वेश्चन वाइज आंसर लिमिट होती है, but this is the limit for entire paper. So don't do this. Then do you want to give spelling checker to your students? Say yes or no, whatever is your requirement. Do you want to give them an opportunity to scan handwritten answers with a mobile phone? If yes, say on. If not, if you want them to type it over here, then keep it off. I would suggest इस option को आप हमेशा on रखिए. Reason being, for example, कोई बच्चे को technical glitch आ गया है, तो आप उस paper की PDF उसको WhatsApp पे भेज सकते हैं. He can write answers in the copy. जब लाइट वापस आएगी तो वो बच्चा वापस exam.net में आके अपने आंसर अपलोड कर सकता है. So this is a saver. So allow this to do so, even if you expect them to type the answers. Below it is accessibility tools. You want them to use translation help, give it on. Otherwise, don't. English synonym, speech synthesis means the software should read aloud the question for them. If you have differently abled children in your classrooms, you can give them this option. Audio files, as I said, if somebody is doing listening skills and you want to give them audio files, so you can give them audio files. You can add the audio files here. Activate audio for all students. You can say yes, so that they all can listen the audio on their systems instead of teacher system only. Subject tools. If you want them to draw a diagram and you want to give them in the answer area the pencil or pen or the drawing tools, you can give them drawing tools. If you want to give them calculator, like ICSE board in Cambridge allow class 11th and 12th students to use calculator, so you can give them calculator. Maths teachers would like to give them graph sheet, or Desmos can be given, GeoGebra can be given. Mathematical formula helpline can be given, basic or advanced, if your curriculum allows you to do that. If some children are writing answers, and let's say it's a computer science paper, and we know that in Python and JavaScript, children need to write the code with little indentation and they need to use special characters. So in that case, we can give them this editor, but the editor will not allow them to compile the program. They will be only able to type with indentation. So that can be done. So these are subject specific tools. Now, having said that, subject specific tools ke baad you have resources. So if suppose I want my child to watch a video on a website or read something from a wiki page and then attempt this paper, so I can add those additional things here. In the external resource, I can give the URL. If I want to give them log table or topo sheets, I can add them as PDF here. So depending on your subject requirements, you can add the resources. You can give external link. But external links will work depending on what mode you are using to conduct the exam. Now, this is the most crucial and the last part of setting up exam. First is require high security mode. If you say require high security mode, you should choose this option only if you know all your children have laptop and they are Windows, Mac or Chromebook users. If not so, as we understand that some of the children are on tabs or are on mobile phone, please do not choose this mode. This is good for the schools, those who provide devices to the children and they are standard devices. Then in that case, the child will run the exam on special browsers like SEB browser for Windows and TAT browser for Windows 10, and sorry, SEB is for your Mac. So then in that case, the children will have those browsers downloaded, and then when the exam will run on those browsers, their window will be 100% locked and they will not be able to open any other window. So proctoring will happen 100% for sure. But baki modes may be security provision hai. Reason being, if you say any other browser but prefer high security mode, means we are saying बच्चे को ठीक है कोई और browser भी चलेगा, वो किसी और ब्राउजर पे भी खोल सकते हैं, कोई और ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम भी हो सकता है. सो इट सेज हाई सिक्योरिटी मोड विल बी सजेस्टेड. मतलब जब बच्चा एग्जाम स्टार्ट करेगा तो सॉफ्टवेयर उसको प्रॉम्प्ट करेगा कि हैव दिस ब्राउजर, लेकिन अगर ये ब्राउजर नहीं भी होगा तो बच्चे का एग्जाम स्टार्ट हो जाएगा, बट द नोटिफिकेशन विल कम टू द टीचर एंड टीचर कैन स्टिल मॉनिटर द चाइल्ड डूइंग द एग्जाम. But this may add to one tension that the child may say that software is asking me, it is asking me that I should use high security mode. So generally what happened, I use this option, allow any browser, because we know that in Indian scenario, we have children, those who use mixed bag of devices. So what it does, exam will open in any browser. So this is the low security mode, but we have some settings to ensure that in low security mode also, the exam has some sort of proctoring. It says अगर आपका बच्चा लो सिक्योरिटी मोड में वो आपके एग्जाम की विंडो के अलावा गूगल करने के लिए दूसरी विंडो खोल सकता है, लेकिन खोलता है तो क्या होना चाहिए, रिक्वायर एन एक्सप्लेनेशन बट अनलॉक इमीडिएटली. तो उसको टीचर को पता चल जाएगा कि बच्चे ने दूसरी विंडो खोली है, तो उसे एक्सप्लेनेशन देना पड़ेगा और उसके बाद एग्जाम खुलेगा. अनदर ऑप्शन इज नोटिफाई द टीचर बट डोंट लॉक द स्टूडेंट. रिक्वायर एक्सप्लेनेशन एंड वेट टिल 30 seconds. Require explanation, wait till 60 seconds, then wait till 90 seconds, require explanation and the teacher will give the manual key to unlock the child. Turn off cheat protection completely. आपको cheating से कोई मतलब नहीं, बच्चा जो कर रहा है करे, आप you don't want to get into this, so आप इसे completely off भी कर सकते हैं. For us, I think this option works well with me because बच्चे को ये भी पता चल रहा है कि टीचर को मालूम चल गया कि मैंने कोई दूसरी विंडो खोली. जब आप उसे 30 सेकेंड टाइम पेनल्टी देते हो तो अगर बच्चा थोड़ा भी सिंसियर है तो ही नोज 30 सेकेंड उस टाइम एग्जाम सिनेरियो में इट्स अ किलिंग टाइम. सो उसको टेंशन बिल्ट होने लगता है. नेक्स्ट टाइम ही विल बी माइंडफुल कि मुझे दूसरा विंडो नहीं खोलना है, राइट. सो यू मे से कि वो फोन पे भी खोल सकता है किसी और डिवाइस पे. एज आई सेड इन द बिगिनिंग, we can't completely obsolete teaching, but we can control to a great extent whatever is in our hand. So this is one option which helps. Require explanation, wait 30 seconds. Now I'm going to go, this is create the exam. I'm going to go up and show you all the settings quickly before I click on create exam. So what I did first, I created a group. In that group I came in. Now I created the exam. It is asking me the exam name. So I'm writing here demo exam 1. And then you can't see the screen.
Yeah, I just posted a message, but you reply, that's why I went with it.
Ma'am, maybe then if other people can see, then maybe it's a problem at your network. Can you please refresh it? Can other people see the screen?
Yes, miss. Yes, ma'am.
So, ma'am, I request you to please refresh your internet and or rejoin. Maybe it's a network issue at your end. So what I was, I will do a quick recap. So I was saying that once you create your group, then you create the exam in that group, name the exam, select the type of exam questions. So you have these 4 types of questions. Here I have selected a PDF. But if you want to write the answer yourself, so I'm coming back to this option because I want to show you other options also. Let me show you the lower part. Student information, student workspace, give them writing area, give them option to scan handwritten options. Then if you want to give them translation, English synonym, audio file, you want to give them subject related tools like drawing, geography में अगर आपको कोई diagram बनवाना है, bio में you can give them drawing tool, you can give them calculator. At the bottom we had this option of resources, and then here we had security mode. So I selected any browser, require explanation and wait 30 seconds. So this is what I can give. Now coming back to this portion, I am going to use this option write exam question because I want you to have a feel of this. So मैं एक question create कर रही हूँ. I am changing from PDF to write a question. So I am writing hope you have got some clarity about exam.net. So you can just answer in yes and no so that you have a feel. So second question is draw an emoji to show how are you feeling. Tensed, happy, no, sad, whatever you want to. So I'm giving just 2 questions so that you have a feel how to use exam.net. So I'm saying present the questions to the student or fill the student's answer area with the question. When I select this, fill the answers, student's answer area with the question. In that question case, आपको space मिलेगी बीच में लिखने के लिए, and you will be able to see the questions also. So I'm selecting this second option. I can make these questions bold italic. I can format them using these tools and I can say okay. अब मैंने PDF से ये option select कर लिया है. जैसे आप forms में multiple choice question थे वो आप यहाँ भी बना सकते हैं auto graded exam. So I'm leaving it for you to explore. I'm just giving you this option, keeping the time in hand. So I'm creating this exam. Once the exam is created, what you have to do as a teacher. So I'm coming to training teacher window. This is my demo exam that I have created. Let's say you all are my students. So I have to copy the exam key and give you. So आप में से जिन लोगों के पास chat window नहीं भी है, आपके लिए मेरे पास instruction है, go to exam.net and enter as a student and type this key. और जिनके पास exam chat window का access है, so I am just pasting this key. आपको जाना है exam.net पर and you have to join this. Now please remember, if you are going to share the exam key, make sure the status of your exam is open. नहीं तो आपके बच्चे बोलेंगे कि उनको ये मैसेज आ रहा है कि teacher has not started the exam. It's a good idea to keep the exam closed. जब हम लोग exam कराते हैं exam.net पे, we call everyone on Teams or Zoom or Google Classroom, take attendance, then give the key and open exam so that all children enter the exam at the same point of time. So to avoid that disparity, I open the exam when all my children are there and I have taken attendance, then I begin the exam. Now once I've given you the exam key, so this is my exam key, and this eye symbol will allow me to do surveillance. So I go to this eye icon and I sit here to see how many of my students have joined the exam. This is the exam key. Those of you who do not have access to chat window, please quickly join and try answering these questions so that we can move ahead with the last tool which we have. So I can see 2 people, Khushbu has joined in. You can see my screen that 2 people have joined in. Here are the names. So you can have a feel as a student. So it says exam is open. Exam key is being shared. 2 started the exam. They are writing the exam. 3 people have started the exam. I can see as a teacher. If somebody will have network difficulty, I will come to know through this window. There will be an orange sign in front of that child's name. So I as a teacher would come to know who has difficulty in terms of network also. Now you are not able to see time on your screen. If as a teacher I want to give you timer, so I can set timer for 2 minutes and that timer will run on your screen. And I will also come to know. So the teacher can set the timer from here. So I know Khushbu has already submitted the paper because I can see from my screen here, 9 started the exam, 1 submitted and 8 ongoing. So in the interest of the time, you all can see on my screen, I want to give you some reflectors on this surveillance window. So this is one is, I know that 2 people have logged out because either their window was closed or there was network issue या उनका phone का screen saver चल गया. तो कोई भी issue से अगर आप logged out होते हो तो teacher get this, the student is logged out. Now you have to wait for 30 seconds and give explanation, then you will be able to resume the exam. Now this is this gives me a complete picture of how many students are doing the exam, किनका चल रहा है, किसको network problem है, कौन-कौन log out हुआ है. So I know everything as a teacher from my window. Now see here, I can print my answers. So if I have a printer, I can print the copies. I can download all the copies as Word file. I can download the copies as PDFs. I can send the copies to students' mail that this is what I have received from you. I can transfer all the copies to Google Drive. I can transfer all the copies to my OneDrive. This last option is paid. I can't use this because this is under paid option. It gives you some sort of analysis कि ये बच्चा continuously exams में कैसा कर रहा है. So URKUND analysis is not available, but rest of the features are all available here. You can download the attendance sheet. Now I can click on download the attendance sheet and this is downloaded. I can download the copies. I'm opening one copy and showing you. Please see on my screen. I have downloaded the copy and all the copies have come to me as a zip file. I can extract those who had submitted. So on my screen, I have these copies with me. So I have got this Dheeraj's copy I have opened. So this is like I have got to see her copy. Now, just one quick questions from all of you. Do you all check PDFs? Have you ever tried? Because here you are getting the copies in 2 ways. Either you are getting as PDF or Word file. How do you check PDF? Do you, what kind of tool you use to check a PDF file if you have ever collected from any student? So type in the chat window of Teams meeting. Do you check PDF? Okay, somebody is writing about Kami app. Don't know, not collected. Good. So please see my screen. I have downloaded a PDF. If you are a window user, you see there is in this Edge browser. If you can see, this is my one Edge browser, latest in Windows 10. So on my system, I have checked opening of PDF with Edge browser. So if I go to any PDF on my system and I say right click and I say open with. So in open with, I can open it with Edge browser. This opens PDF directly. In this Edge browser, we have this draw option. If you see, this is a draw option here and I can select the red ink and I can, actually type, check and write whatever. So this is one way using Microsoft Edge browser. If you are not a Windows user, I have another tool. There is Adobe Acrobat का एक पुराना version है. So I will give the link to Varun sir. He will post it in your WhatsApp group. You can download that free Adobe Acrobat reader. उससे भी आप checking कर सकते हैं. There is an option of draw, annotate, even put your signature and write. And I have a tutorial also related to that tool that I will give to sir and sir can pass it to you. Right, so these are the ways to use exam.net. Exam.net provides you more than 50% of proctoring. It is very helpful, like how many students have completed. You can download their copies as Word, you can print them or download as PDF and then you can check them. So this was about exam.net. We can give you a handout on exam.net. So I can share with sir, he can share on the group. You can, if you forget, you can refer back to the handout or can go to the recording and check that again. Now, in the interest of the time, I will take 5-7 minutes more before I take your questions to show you 2 more tools. Those tools are very, very similar and their purpose is to do video-based assessment. Now coming back to my PPT, the name of the tools are Nearpod and Edpuzzle. आपको कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि आप ये दोनों टूल ट्राई करें, दोनों का सेम पर्पस है. आप, however, if I talk in terms of free space, आपको फ्री वर्जन में जो स्पेस है वो Edpuzzle में ज्यादा है और Nearpod में कम है. However, अगर आप Nearpod को यूज करके you give do one something called Nearpod Certified Educator. तो अगर आप Nearpod Certified Educator का फॉर्म भर देते हैं और उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट कंप्लीट कर लेते हैं तो आप फ्री से गोल्ड वर्जन में ऑटोमेटिकली प्रमोट हो जाते हैं विदाउट पेइंग एनीथिंग. तो आपके पास काफी स्पेस है फ्री without investing anything. So this is the portal name nearpod.com. When you come here, you go to login and I am using my Office 365 ID. अगर आप new हैं तो go to sign up and create account using Google or Microsoft ID. So suppose I already have an account with Office 365. I am going through my Office 365 account. So if you are interested to learn Nearpod in a great detail, again there is a session that I am doing with NCERT on 28th. और आपको भी उस सेशन का लिंक we can make available. That is in Hindi, but there was already a session that happened with teacher.in in English and with NCERT. Their links are there on their site, so आप check कर सकते हैं. But today I'm just telling you assessment using Nearpod. So video based assessment especially. So this is a new feature that has come up in Nearpod. When you come to Nearpod, you see there is this option create. It says create videos, add activities in any video. So we go to this particular option. When I come to this site, create activity in a video. So it says create your own interactive video with Nearpod. Start with one of your videos. Let's do it. For example, now here you have a library of many videos which are already there. Now, how are these videos used for assessment? So you select any video. Let's say आप अपने बच्चों से बात करना चाहते हैं leap year के बारे में. So I'm searching this huge library and I'm searching a video related to leap year. So I find one. I select this video and I see these are interactive videos. These videos में already दो question हैं. So when you come here, it says there is a multiple time question here. It takes the earth how much time, there is some question over here. When I come here, there is one more question here. अब इसके बीच में भी अगर मुझे कोई question add करना है, so I can go here and I can say add activity. There are two kind of questions which I can add to these videos. So I can say open-ended question. So I'm writing my question here. Was 1992 a leap year? If so, how did you decide it? Did you decide? So I am just giving this question to my child. So what I'm doing is I'm doing video based assessment. बच्चा केवल video consume ही नहीं कर रहा है. In between there are questions which are being added and I'm saving it. Now this was about मैंने एक ready-made video pick up किया और उसको मैंने save किया है leap year activity. And this is my video. Sorry, ready-made video. You can do the same with your own videos also and assign it to your students. So this video, which I recently, saved, so it has come now, leap year activity. I want live participation of all my students, so I can click on live participation. If I want to send it as homework, I can click on student paste. If students are sitting in front of me in the class and I want to play it in the projector, this is the third option. So I want you all to have a feel. So I'm clicking on live participation. And when I click on live participation, I get a lesson. Now I'm copying this link. आप Zoom meeting में भेजना चाहते हैं तो Zoom में भेजिए, Classroom में भेजना है, Google Classroom में, Teams में भेजना है. You can add this code to Teams. So I'm just posting it here. You can try clicking on the link. Just 1 minute. So I will copy the link and I will paste it here. Now what happens when you as a student go to this link, I would come to know how many of you have joined, till what extent you have watched my video, have you answered the questions or not. So I'm keeping pause for just 1 minute and observing. Sir, please share it in the WhatsApp group also so that I can see how these people are joining.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope the link is accessible because I did not see anyone joining.
Ma'am, it joined.
Okay. Okay, let me refresh it. So maybe I haven't refreshed my window. I will refresh it and see how many of you have joined. So 6 of you have joined. Yes, I can see it now. Now,
Ma'am,
when
I'm
you
not
are,
able to open it.
so ma'am, as a student, there are two ways. When students do this Nearpod lesson, अगर वो अपने laptop पर है, तो your instruction should be, beta go to nearpod.com, go to click on the student side, and you know when you are giving link, तब तो कोई problem ही नहीं है. आपने link paste किया है, तो link will directly take the child if he is on the laptop directly to the lesson. But अगर बच्चा आपका phone पर है, तो आप उसको बोल सकते हैं for better experience you download the Nearpod app. So the child has to download the Nearpod app.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a doubt, ma'am, regarding the Flipgrid.
Yeah.
Actually, my school is taking the oral test by the WhatsApp videos itself. Means the parents are posting to the teachers the WhatsApp in the WhatsApp videos, whatever the oral answers are there. It's what is the difference then? What is the benefit of this Flipgrid exclusively?
Yeah, ma'am, that's a very good question. So, when the videos come on WhatsApp, they take your phone space.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have deleted, the videos are gone. Plus, teacher has to, if the teacher has to collate that to present it to management that these are the responses, so आप अपनी bandwidth पर सारे videos download करेंगे और फिर you will keep them in one folder. So आपका internet भी जा रहा है और आपका space भी जा रहा है. On the contrary, if you have created a Flipgrid and given the link to parents and the child is uploading his response, उसमें भी दो तरीके हैं. अगर आप ये चाहते हैं कि एक बच्चा दूसरे का response देख सके, तो आप unmoderated Flipgrid बनाइए, तो हर बच्चे को दूसरे का response भी दिखेगा. और अगर आप moderated Flipgrid बनाते हैं, तो जो बच्चा उस पर upload करता है, जब सबके response आ जाते हैं, तब आप moderate as a moderator open कर सकते हो, approve कर सकते हो उस response को, फिर सबके responses वहां दिखते हैं. तो अगर आपने Flipgrid बनाई, so the responses are coming to the cloud space, not to you. उस लिंक पर अपलोड हो रहे हैं, तो आपके ना फोन की स्पेस जा रही है और ना ही आपका इंटरनेट जा रहा है टू डाउनलोड दोस एंड ऑर्गेनाइज इन वन फोल्डर. सो दैट्स एक्चुअली अ लाइफ सेवर. जैसे अभी अगर आप, मेरी मैनेजमेंट मेरे से बोलती है कि आपने कितने वाइवा लिए हैं, हमें रिकॉर्ड चाहिए, तो मैंने वो सारी टीम्स मीटिंग भी रिकॉर्ड की, लेकिन इट्स अ वेरी पेनफुल कि मैं जा जाके ढूंढूं कि मैंने किस दिन पे वाइवा लिया.
That's truly.
Right. So what I'll do, I'll just give them the link of my Flipgrids. This is lesson 1, Viva 1, lesson 2, Viva 1, like that. And just clicking on one link, they will get all 28 students Viva over there.
Okay.
So I just want to, you know, have experience from one of the participant about this video. What did you observe? If you were in, did you realize how the video was going on? Could you see a question?
Actually, I'm unable to see this link. I don't know whether Sir Varun sir, did you posted it to personally? Yes. I'm Aparna sir, Aparna K. Or did you posted me personally or in the teacher.network?
So I posted in the WhatsApp group. I'll again send it to you on your person.
Actually, WhatsApp group means I am there in the older WhatsApp groups. Initially when you started this.
Okay, sure, ma'am. I'll just send it to you across.
Dheeraj, I see a hands up from you. Any doubt that you want to ask?
And I use this Nearpod, ma'am, for my classes. It is excellent.
Yes, Dheeraj, you want to ask something?
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, I was just asking you, again, coming back to the same thing, the difference of Google Forms and the Microsoft Forms. I was asking, can I ask right now? Is it the end?
Just give me 2 minutes. Just give me 2
Yeah.
minutes. Let's close
Yeah.
this. Did you try? Did anyone try seeing that Nearpod video and observe the questions the way it was coming?
Yes, ma'am. Could and this side.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
What's your
selecting
experience? Do you think
code
this
over
kind
there.
I was,
Ma'am, one by
ma'am,
one.
I was see only 7 seconds video. No
Okay.
question was there.
Excuse me, ma'am. It had mentioned about February 28.
Okay.
No,
Ma'am, it was same with me as well. I could see only 7-second video and nothing was coming.
Okay.
Yes,
Could
ma'am,
anyone
same
see the
screen
full
was
video
coming.
and see the 3 questions?
No, ma'am, only
No,
7
no,
seconds.
it is fast.
Only 7-second video it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, maybe I gave you then the wrong link. Can you see this code on the top? Is the code same?
Yes, ma'am.
YQI9P?
9P, yes, ma'am.
I joined with the given link.
Okay, just let me see. I'm just copying it once again and posting it over there. So in 7 seconds, you said there was no question?
No, ma'am, the video was running very fast and just few seconds, that's it.
Okay, let me match the code.
Ma'am, it's giving eyes up front. The video will play in front of the teachers. Maybe you should click on all devices, I believe, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, I got it now, ma'am. Thank you for that. So there was this setting, I think, to play on all devices, and then I put
classrooms.
I got it, ma'am. So what I'm trying to say is here, I'm sure you have got the essence of it. The idea here is to tell you that tools like this allows us to say, for example, some of the schools must be sending the videos home. Like my school is also sending some videos home, for the children to see. Now, when we send these videos, what happens? We don't know whether the child has seen it or not. So first we will be, we'll come to know how many children have seen this video. And second thing, we would be forcing the child to see it properly so that the child has, answered the questions that we have put up related to the video. So now I think if I'll put it just now, you will be able to see, because earlier I generated some wrong link. Now the last link should force you to see the questions also. So let's not waste time on it. Those who want to check it, they can check it. But the idea is, अब आप लोग एक चीज और देखिए, say this is a platform for, in the library there are plenty of videos when I went there, but I wanted to have my own video uploaded. So how can, I have my own video uploaded? So when I went to Quick Launch to create create a video lesson, and there I had this option of uploading my own video also. So I can, either upload the video from the library, or I have this option, upload a video. I can go to my videos also. If I've shortlisted some videos, I can go to upload a video also, and I can select a video from my system to upload it. So if I had any video here on my system, so I can upload that video, and then I could ask question based on that video. So I will just close it, because it's a simple exercise. You all can check it. Once your video is uploaded, you can, put questions on the timeline, as many as you want, as it was happening with the ready-made video, and then share the link with your class. So I'm sure you people will be able to explore it. Should you have any problem, you can write back to me. I'll give you my email ID, not a problem. So please try this kind of exercise also. And as I said, that there is one more. Okay, let it load. We'll come back to the screen. There is one more tool which is similar to Nearpod, and you can use Edpuzzle. I'm giving you a link for a self-paced detailed course on Edpuzzle. So Edpuzzle, this is my window. I signed up using, my Gmail ID. I can first create my class. So I can go here, create my class. So आप class create करने के बाद, for example, I have this class option. I can create a new class, and then after creating my class, or if I've already created this class, so it is giving me the option to delete. Once I've created the class, I can go to content. Content पे जाने के बाद there is a plenty of ready-made content. If you want your own content, like I uploaded my video here, so I have this particular video of mine. I select this video. I can, either edit this video, delete this video, duplicate, and then I have this option of assign. So I can assign this option to a particular class. So I have just created one class, 10th IG. I can add the new class from here and I can assign to this class. And then I can ask my children to join my class using a class code. So what I'm going to give you is, so here on government portal Disha, I'm going to show you this portal Disha, because see, every tool requires a 2-hour training session for the tool itself. So it is not possible for me to step by step show you all the tools. The idea is to give you an eye opener that this is available. So I would suggest, मैं आपको link दे रही हूँ, you go to Disha portal. This is the, tool. This is the video. And this is about a complete video of 30 minutes about Edpuzzle. So here is the link. I am going to share it in the chat window. It is very user friendly. Maybe you will find the presenter better than me. She's explaining it step by step to create classes on Edpuzzle. So this is a government portal, disha.gov.in. I would request आप इसको एक बार देखिए and you would have no difficulty because it is showing very slow, very step by step class कैसे बनाना है, students को कैसे invite करना है, content आपको share कैसे करना है, आपकी वीडियो में बीच में questions कैसे डालने हैं, everything is available over here. So I would like to spend now 10 minutes to take your queries if you have any. I have shown you glimpses of Nearpod, Edpuzzle, and I have also told you how you can use forms in an effective way to conduct assessment. So I am waiting to take questions from you. I will be sharing some useful links if you want to explore more on Nearpod, more on Microsoft Forms. Have already done those trainings separately because every tool training is actually a 1.5 hour to 2 hour separate tool training session. And here the idea is to give you names that this is available for this purpose. So it's not a tool specific training session, but I understand that aapko wo expertise bhi chahiye. So we will share the link. You watch those videos. If you have any query, my email ID is also given in the chat window. You can write me. I can resolve your tool specific queries. Ma'am was asking exam.net पे maths के पेपर कैसे बना सकते हैं? So maths के पेपर बनाने के लिए I am just showing you that question I saw earlier also. In exam.net जब आप पेपर create करते हैं ma'am, suppose I am going to go to new exam and I am just showing you and I am saying write exam questions. So जब आप लिखते हैं ये आपका equation editor है. If suppose you come here, this is your equation editor, you can write here. और सबसे मैथ्स टीचर्स के लिए मेरे पास एक सिंपल ट्रिक है कि आप अपना क्वेश्चन अगर हाथ से भी लिख लेते हैं पेपर पेन पर, उसको यहाँ पर एज एन इंसर्ट इमेज कर दीजिए. राइट वेरी नीटली विद पेपर पेन बिकॉज देयर आर मेनी ऑप्शंस. अगर आपका स्कूल उस तरह से अलाउ नहीं करता है, दे वांट यू टू टाइप ओनली, तो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड में भी इक्वेशन एड इन है. आप वर्ड में जाके भी वहां से पे इक्वेशन एड इन से लिख के यहाँ कॉपी पेस्ट कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड में अगर हम जाते हैं तो हमारे पास इंसर्ट में जाके इक्वेशन यहाँ पर एड इन है एंड वी हैव ऑल दीज बेसिक इक्वेशन. इंसर्ट न्यू इक्वेशन, इंसर्ट इंक इक्वेशन में अगर आपके पास टच स्क्रीन डिवाइस है तो आप फिंगर से लेके भी इंक टू टेक्स्ट भी कर सकते हैं. मैं जैसे अगर हाथ से लिखना चाहूँ एक्स स्क्वायर तो वो यहाँ कन्वर्ट भी हो जाएगा. ये भी फैसिलिटी है. बट एज आई सेड, अगर आपका स्कूल हैंड रिटन नीटली लिखा हुआ पेपर में अलाउ कर देता है तो आप कॉपी पे लिखकर इमेज इंसर्ट कीजिए. योर लाइफ विल बी इजियर. नहीं तो हमें टाइप करने के लिए तो ये सारे ऑप्शंस है ही, यहाँ पर भी है, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड में भी है. लेट मी सी मोर क्वेश्चंस इन द चैट विंडो. You can put your questions in the chat window or you can raise your hand and then unmute yourself and ask. I'm available here for 5-10 more minutes. Please feel free to ask your questions.
Yes, ma'am. This is here.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I was asking you one thing, that whatever tools or apps which we find on net, can we get some training if we like some app? Many a times I found that if I found something useful, I'm not able to do it because I'm not from computer background.
मैम आप मेरी स्क्रीन पर एक चीज देखिएगा आप, वैसे तो वरुण इज द राइट पर्सन, teacher.in इज वेरी प्रोएक्टिव इन ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सो मेनी ट्रेनिंग्स फॉर द टीचर. उसके अलावा भी आई एम जस्ट शोइंग यू वन पोर्टल, जस्ट अ मिनट मैम. So if you see this CIET webinars, 7th April से मैम यहाँ पर रोज वेबिनार्स ऑर्गेनाइज हुए हैं. एनसी आप मेरी स्क्रीन आपको शायद नहीं दिख रही है, मैं आपको दिखा रही हूँ. इफ यू सी माई स्क्रीन, तो जो नॉन कंप्यूटर टीचर्स है मैम, आपके लिए जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी इन हिंदी, ऑनलाइन टूल्स, जैसे आपने नेट पे कोई भी टूल सेलेक्ट किए, फॉर एग्जाम्पल माइंड मैप बनाने के लिए, यहाँ पर इन टूल्स का प्रेजेंटेशन और वीडियो दोनों अवेलेबल है और बहुत स्टेप बाय स्टेप लैंग्वेज में, इंग्लिश में भी है, हिंदी में भी है. So
I'm not able to see your video, I mean screen.
मैम मैंने स्क्रीन शेयर किया है. I am giving you this URL in the chat window. This particular portal has so many webinars which have happened, and this is for the teachers, by the teachers only. So even there are many on teacher.in, many which I have also taken with teacher.in, and many good educators have taken with teacher.in. So उनकी वेबसाइट पे भी बहुत सारे वेबिनार हैं, आप जाके उनकी रिकॉर्डिंग्स वगैरह चेक कर सकते हैं, and that will be helpful.
Okay, ma'am, my last question is, मैम जो हमने प्लेजरिज्म को रोकने के लिए आप बात किया था,
हाँ,
कि भाई हम वहाँ पर बच्चे चीटिंग कैसे कर लेते हैं गूगल फॉर्म्स में, मैं बस उसको जानना चाहती हूँ. I'm curious about it. How do they?
मैम जो एक यहाँ पर देखिए, मैं 1 मिनट में आपको दिखा रही हूँ. ये आप देख रहे हैं मैम, गूगल फॉर्म सबमिटर, fobi.io means there are net पर बहुत सारे, it says auto IT generate help. आप इसको प्लीज पढ़िएगा, these write up. My students only showed me in previous class. To answer questions in Google Forms, आप अपने एक Chrome extension डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. तो जब भी बच्चे को Google Form मिलता है और वो उस extension से form attempt करता है, तो उसको answers दिखने लगते हैं. So we as a school use Microsoft Forms. So this is when I came to know that one of the child told me that a teacher used Google Forms and some of the children found AI enabled bot which could answer all the questions. So I haven't tried it because we are a Microsoft school, so we try that. But I have learned it from my own kids that this is, yes, it is possible. Now talking about this is through form. अगर आपको कोई और भी assignment मैम सबमिट करता है बच्चा और आपको plagiarism चेक करना है, तो आप plagiarism चेक करने के लिए Plague Tracker वेबसाइट यूज कर सकते हैं. Plague Tracker is free online. आप बच्चे का आंसर वहां पर पोस्ट कर दीजिए. So suppose I go to plaguetracker.com और हम उसका आंसर कॉपी पेस्ट कर सकते हैं यहाँ पर for in the online editorial. Just 1 minute. This I have come to a blog. I have to go to plaguetracker.com. And I copy paste the answer of the child, then it can give me the source from where the answer has been copied. You can review this portal. It says you can upload your paper. I can upload the answer and then it will scan and give me the report from where the answer has been copied.
Okay, ma'am. Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, and it is not there with the Microsoft Teams, na? The Microsoft Forms.
Plague Tracker the self-evaluator is not with Microsoft Form. That is available for Google Forms.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all information, ma'am. It was very, very good. Thank you, Varun sir, a lot. I'm joining for all 7 days, actually.
Ma'am, it's my one question. The Nearpod and education puzzle, the two applications that you have shown, is it free that we can go on, or else it's paid.
No, ma'am. Exam.net is free till 2020. Nearpod is free, but there is a limitation of space. For example, once you've created 20 lessons on Nearpod, it may say that your allotted space of 50 MB is exhausted. So what is the easiest way for Nearpod? आप Nearpod पर एक एग्जाम एक क्वेश्चन ये है नियरपॉड सर्टिफाइड एडुकेटर आप लिखिए मैम. नियरपॉड सर्टिफाइड एडुकेटर बनने के लिए यू हैव टू take a live lesson on Nearpod with 15 students and submit your lesson link in this application. आप apply करके आप एक live lesson लीजिए बच्चों के साथ and give the lesson link in this application form. They will review your application. Once you become a Nearpod certified educator, तो आप सिल्वर से गोल्ड में ऑटोमेटिकली कन्वर्ट हो जाएंगे एंड वंस यू आर अ गोल्ड मेंबर आपको 6 months के लिए सब कुछ फ्री मिलेगा whatever are the premium features of this software.
Oh, wow, that's great. Thank you. It's amazing.
Welcome. Varun sir, anything else to be addressed?
Yes, ma'am. Just a couple of announcements. The teachers have shared a feedback form link in the chat window. I request you all to please fill the feedback form. So I'll also just share the screen, ma'am. It'll just take me 1 minute for these announcements.
Sure, I'm stop sharing my screen. You can share.
Sure. So, dear teachers, if you are able to see the screen, the link is mentioned on the screen. It's for all the teachers who do not have access to the chat window. Please copy this feedback form link. This will also be shared in the WhatsApp group so that it will help us understand. And at the same time, today's presentation, today's video recording, and assignment, all the details will be mailed only if you would be able to fill the feedback form. So that is the only way in which we can reach out to you. And I'd like to take this moment to thank Sonia ma'am for this wonderful session. We have covered probably one of the most crucial aspects of online teaching, which is effective testing online. In fact, as ma'am said, it's always very interesting that how children come up with amazing ways to hack the system. But it is also a factor of using all these amazing tools that ma'am has mentioned to prevent that and to effectively gauge the outcomes that are supposed to be measured. So once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for introducing all these wonderful tools. I request all the teachers to please follow.
Sir, can
Sonia,
you
ma'am.
show the form link once?
I will do that. Sure. So I request all the teachers to please, if you are on Twitter, please share your thoughts and tag us. You can follow Sonia ma'am on @SoniaVada26. You can tag us and @Chat India, @TeacherTweets and @Chat India. And please let us know what you feel about the entire session. I hope you had a great learning session. Once again, thank you so much, Sonia ma'am, for taking your time out during this hectic time. I understand that a lot of schools are currently going through the exam season, and I really appreciate the fact that you consistently been helping us since the inception to give it back to the educator community and share your wonderful knowledge. So thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. So,
thank you, Varun sir. Thank you, teacher. Thank you, Study Up, for the opportunity. It was indeed a pleasure for me to have this session.
Thank you, ma'am. So, dear teachers, I hope you have filled the feedback form. It's very important that you fill the feedback form. This is only the way how some of your email addresses we do not have. So that is the reason why I'm specifically mentioning this 3-4 times. All right. So that being said, I think we can end the session. Thank you so much for joining today. Tomorrow, you can please join us at the same time at 4 p.m. We would be having a session with Ms. Sanchita Ghosh, ma'am. She's currently the HOD of Social Studies at Sanskriti School, New Delhi. So thank you so much for joining. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And if there are any other queries, you can please post it on the chat window, or you can unmute yourself.
Thank you, Varun sir. Thank you, ma'am, for providing
So,
such a nice session.
thank you, ma'am. It was amazing.
Thank you, everyone.
The meeting. How to leave the meeting? There is no leave button shown here.
You can click on the red button, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Call in button.